funny. I feel like we've both been on the tour long enough that there's not very many people that we haven't played, especially for similar ages. But yeah, I kind of knew that she was going to have a big first serve and she was going to be dictating whenever she was serving, so I kind of knew what to expect.
Madison, despite you winning 2 sets, very competitive throughout. No one was able to break each other until second set, ninth game. What happened at that moment? Did you know it was over?
I definitely didn't know it was over. But, you know, I just knew that if I kept hanging in on my service games that hopefully I would have a chance to break, and I knew there probably wasn't going to be very many opportunities, so I knew when I had that break point in that game that I really needed to step up.
The nerves or just the preparation like going into a final. I mean, you're younger than Coco, but on paper with the finals and everything like that, you have more experience. Do you feel like pretty calm out there? It seems like a pretty steady performance.
I felt really calm, and to be totally honest, I didn't even really feel nerves until like 30 love in the last game serving. And you know, I kind of went in again with feeling no pressure in a weird way. She's had an amazing season and she's had lots of matches, and I just kind of knew what I needed to do, and I just stayed focused on that.
How's gratifying, you know, coming back from surgery and kind of working right back up, gratifying and special as this right at this stage?
It definitely feels really, really good, and it hasn't been the easiest season, but it finally feels like I'm on the right track and feeling really good about my tennis again.
You faced 3 great points in the first set, and each time you responded with such confidence, fairly easy responses. Talk about your mindset and your confidence on those great points.
When you're playing Coco, you have to step up, and you know, you have to be aggressive and you have to play your game. If not, she's equally as aggressive, and you know, if you're going to give her an easy ball, that she's probably going to hit a winner. So I just knew I had to step up and play confident and trust my game.
You talk about winning a tournament in the United States of America and on hard courts.
It feels amazing to have a title at home and on hard court. And yeah, I'm really, really happy that this is kind of the start of my US Open series.
Madison, you guys seem to have shared some really tender and friendly moments following the match. Can you share at all about any words that were exchanged?
I mean, we talked about Fed Cup a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it was just talking as friends, and to be honest, I don't even really remember what we were talking about, but you know, being able to play a friend and then have those moments at the end, those are really special.
She said that you guys really bonded at the Fed Cup in Australia. You were there like 2 weeks and you really got to be pretty close.
Yes, that's very accurate.
In the 7th game of the first set, you started with an ace, 118, and then 116, you know, 2 aces, and then a couple mistakes, got it back to deuce, and you hit that backhand when you're down the line. I mean, that's a crucial game, I'm guessing, in the first set. How important was that to kind of close that game out?
Yeah, that was a really, you know, important game, and I think pretty much every break point down, it was obviously really important because she has a big serve, so getting down a break, it's not easy to break back. So I knew every time I was, you know, even close in a game on my serve, I definitely had to step up.
So Madison, 20 years from now, when you're looking at your trophy case, what would this particular day and moment in this location mean to you?
It means a lot. It's, you know, my first title in the States and against a friend, and truly I think the moments afterwards are part of what makes it so special and what I will always remember about this week.
When people think of Madison Keys, they don't necessarily think of gutsy, feisty fighter, but talk about
Thanks.
I said April. I think you're a fighter. That's my question.
Okay.
I'm putting up there a nice softball for you, Madison. Talk about your sense of fight. Is that something that you have pride in? And,
I mean, I would like to think I'm a pretty good fighter, and that, you know, I've come down from some interesting matches, like US Open last year. But Yeah, I would like to talk to these people that you're talking to.
Just give me your contact information and if I could follow up, talk about it being a springboard for you. How does it give you confidence and what do you want to achieve for the rest of the season?
I came into this tournament with the goal of having good solid matches and trying to get consistent and feel good on the tennis court, and I think I did that, and that's going to be my goal not only for the next tournament but the tournament after that and for the rest of the season.
When you were rehabbing, coming back from surgery, were there moments you thought, okay, when is, and when you started to play again, were there moments you thought, okay, when's my tennis going to be right where I want it to be again? And is this kind of helping with that?
Definitely. There was lots of times when I thought maybe it just wasn't ever going to happen again, and there's lots of low moments, but I mean, as great as this week is, I don't expect my wrist to be perfect forever and never have an issue with it again. So it's going to be something that I have to keep up, and it's always going to be something that I have to have a really good mentality about.
Did you talk at all with Juan Martin Del Potro about?
I did not know.
What is your wrist maintenance, I guess, daily, weekly?
It's daily. It's just making sure that all of the muscles around it are strong and getting them back to 100%. And it's really a day in and day out kind of thing with it.
Are you surprised to win the title here? And did you flip a switch after you were down a set and a break and it was goal high?
I think that first match really tested me in the sense of staying composed and figuring things out and just playing smarter. And I think that match really, really helped me just for the rest of the week. And as far as being surprised, I think I played really solid, smart tennis all week. So maybe not surprised, but definitely very happy.
I mean, just because of the wrist problems for your game to come together so soon?
It's definitely felt like my wrist has just kind of been the final missing piece in my game. I've actually felt pretty good about my game for a while. It was just really good to finally feel healthy for lots of matches.
You talked about having calm going into this final. Can you explain why or just reflect on that? Or sometimes having nerves before finals?
To be totally honest, it was just kind of the day. Sometimes you're nervous and overly nervous, and I think you always have a little bit of nerves, but today it wasn't anything more than usual.
Any more questions?
When you play somebody like Coco, who's a strong server, strong ground strokes, kind of somewhat similar to yourself, do you feel like that's a good matchup for you?
I think it can be, but it's also one of those matches where you need to serve well and you need to match her, because had I not served well, or truly it's one point where she had broken me, then the match could have gone completely the other way. So I think it's a good matchup, but it makes you step up and play some of your best tennis.
Last question? Yeah.
What is your advice to young kids who are starting to play tennis? We have the NJTL. What is your advice that you can give them?
My biggest thing is just to remember to have fun, and I think as professional tennis players we forget that sometimes. It's really a blessing that we get to do this for our careers and we get to travel the world, and I think sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be perfect and win everything, and sometimes when tennis is taken away from you, you remember how much you truly love the sport.
Thank you.
One more?
Yeah.
Hey,
Madison. Hi, I'm Lauren. On behalf of USTA, we want to congratulate you on your US Open Series victory here in Stanford. I'm a former Stanford Cardinal, so I love that you won here. And so we want to present you with a Tiffany's bracelet as well as a US Open Wish. So it's a new initiative, and inside the card there's a few things that you can choose from while you're at the US Open. So a fun experience or an added perk. So enjoy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.